Hello and welcome back. There's been some talk going around about a possible third Trump term. It hasn't really been taken seriously so far. The main point there being that months into this second administration, uh, already a ridiculous amount of cracks are forming, uh, at least in the minds of those that are informed and care about accuracy in reporting. But he did. It was recently, a couple of Sundays ago here, that he talked candidly about it, openly about it, that he wasn't joking about attempting to acquire a third term as president of the United States. Uh, there's an article that sums it up pretty well. I'm going to pull it up on the screen here for you. This from Reuters. Republican President Donald Trump said on Sunday he was not joking about seeking a third presidential term, which is barred by the U.S. Constitution, but that it was too early to think about doing so. Trump, who took office on January 20th for his second non-consecutive White House term, has made allusions to seeking a third one, but addressed it directly in a telephone interview with NBC News. No, I'm not joking. I'm not joking, Trump said. It's far too early to think about that. There are methods which you could do it, as you know, he said, declining to elaborate on specific methods. Declining to elaborate seems to be a theme. U.S. presidents are limited to 2 4-year terms, consecutive or not, according to the 22nd Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. A proposal to overturn a constitutional amendment requires a two-thirds vote in both houses of Congress and ratification by the legislatures of 3/4 of the 50 U.S. states. Some Trump allies have floated the idea of keeping Trump in the White House beyond 2028, and the president has also brought up the idea on a number of occasions in a manner that seemed to poke at his political opponents. Trump, who at 78 was the oldest U.S. president at the time of his inauguration, would be 82 if he took on another 4-year term following the November 2028 election. George Washington in 1796 set the precedent for a 2-term presidency, a self-imposed limit that was observed by most U.S. presidents for more than 140 years until Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1940. Roosevelt, a Democrat, who was president during the Great Depression and World War II, broke tradition and served a third term, then died months into his 4th term in 1945. This paved the way for the Amendment on Term Limits in 1951. Longtime Trump advisor Steve Bannon said in a March 19th interview with News Nation that he believes Trump will run again in 2028. Bannon said he and others are looking into ways to make that happen, including examining the definition of a term limit. We're working on it, Bannon said. Yeah. I just bet you are there, Steve. Every once in a while, a nugget of truth will just fall out of his putrid mouth. I'm sorry, I just detest the guy and everything that he stands for. Anyways, getting back to the point here, yes, Franklin D. Roosevelt did serve beyond what the precedent that George Washington set many years ago. The reason that he did that was because of the time that we were in. We were World War II, the Great Depression. He just really fully and truly believed that his continued leadership was vital to getting through those crises, which, let's be real, it kind of was. He's kind of a big deal. I can't say it any other way than that. With a proven track record of positivity during the tenure of his presidency. We look at this guy, this orange, floppy, frumpy, Trumpy blob of a human being. What could he possibly gain? Well, I know there's plenty that he could possibly gain. What could we as America, as American voters, taxpayers, citizens, what could we gain from him in another term? He's months in, and already we're seeing the economy collapse. Sorry, I start to get a little heated up when I talk about this guy. We're on the verge of a recession in this country. Another bad quarter, and hey, we're there. If he gets his way with his knee-jerk reactions to anything involving the economy, we could end up in a depression. I'm pretty sure there's none of us that are old enough to remember that time. But pick up a history book that hasn't been burned by psychotic magas and brush up on the Great Depression. If nothing else, hey, maybe learn something. Maybe you don't. It's not a good read, not a great read, but it is important. Every day is another psychotic, chaotic, anything. He can talk about anything at any given moment. His mind is rotted. It's mush. Could force a baby to eat the applesauce that is his mind. Anyways, that's the spiel for now. I just wanted to really drive home that you can't put anything past this guy. He'll do anything. He can do anything if it involves a benefit to him. Donald Trump is about Donald Trump. He don't care about you. He don't care about me. He don't care about my family. How my family's going to struggle because he's improperly using tariffs. Tariffs are meant to be used sparingly, not blanketed over the entirety of the world, including penguins, for Christ's sake. Don't be dingleberry. Anyways, I'm going to leave it at that for now. As this particular story progresses, and we kind of get more of an inside view of what's going on in his pudding brain, I'll continue to cover it right here on the channel. Seeing protests, it's really emboldened me to hold on to some hope that there's enough people out there that are willing to fight back to keep our country a democracy and not slip into fascism, authoritarianism, dictatorship. Especially to this particular tater who resembles a tater chip. Why? Because there's strength in unity, and we will resist for the future. I'm Joseph Sversetti.